Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. I think I'm on a roll here. We're doing 3 or 4 in a row here. I'm grateful, guys, to be with you as usual. Hope you guys are doing well this evening. This is a Wednesday evening, I believe it is. Hope you guys are conquesting yourselves, conquesting things around you under God's purposes. It is great to be with you once again. Another type of idea we're going to talk about today. Let's do some shout outs real fast first. But I appreciate all your comments, feedback, good or bad. It's always good to hear from you guys. I'm glad that we can continue to do these and have some fun with them as well. But also take a serious side of this, which is really a very serious side, because there's too many people addicted to this nonsense, and we've got to kind of get away from that. So let's do some shout outs here. Gordon 4-time, thank you, my friend. Zilly X5448, thank you. Hitmanbwe, I think Hitmanbwe, 3562, thank you, my friend. Badbwaymusic 7267, thank you. Moy Hernandez, thank you, my friend. 3677, 2 years, keep it up, my friend, keep it up. Again, Zilly X5448, thank you, my friend, I appreciate that. Car Hobbs, thank you. Habashaman 212, thank you. Embrace Life, thank you, my friend, I appreciate that. Derbymixer, thank you. Time/Harvest, thank you. Kongo, thank you. And Ametalf, thank you as well. So I appreciate all your comments, guys. And at the 135 mark, let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, this is from Slippery 413. Thank you, Slippery. I appreciate that. Why are women nervous in my presence? All right, let's talk about this a little bit. Again, this kind of fits into a lot of stuff we're talking about. All right, so let's go back a little bit. Now, even for those who may still be doubting any of this and focusing on the why this happens, let's kind of go back a little bit and talk about the basics here that we're talking about and why this is important. And for many, many years, I struggled with this myself. I went back and forth for 47 years, something like that, and I couldn't understand what the importance of all this was. Well, over time, as I kept teaching classes like physics and chemistry and math and all kinds of things like that, statistics and things like that, I realized that, and we talk about energy, there's a law of Newton and talks about the fact that energy cannot be created and it can't be destroyed. All things are made of energy. This is an important concept to think about. And you'll know this. Unfortunately, I saw this when my Vigor Warriors parents passed away. And I virtually saw nothing but something moving up in the air that was just energy. And the body that was still sitting there, the form that was sitting there, was not a body anymore. And so as time goes on, that's not the person you're dealing with. That's just, you can call it the shell, what do you want to call it. And so something moved out of that. What that is always something that people can debate about for thousands of years. To me, it's the soul going up to God, going back to God. That's the kind of way I always look at it. So seeing that, you realize that things that we see in front of us are all energy. This is why it's important to recognize there's a spiritual component of life. Just because you see something doesn't mean it's reality. Now, I know it's hard to say that because we see things all the time. We use our eyes all the time. We see that. But the idea is that when you're focusing on the idea that energy is more important than what you're seeing, that's an important concept. Because when you look at attraction and when you look at people who see you, they're seeing energy. Yes, they see a body, they see a person in front of them. But again, you're a shell. And how your shell is dependent on a lot of things. I think people, as they get older, their true personality comes out. And some people who are 40, they look like they're 80. Some people who are 80, they look like they're 40. A lot of that determines of things you're doing within your lifestyle, of course. But your shell is only a reflection of how you treat yourself, the body of God, the temple of God, over years, right? Retention is a huge part of that. So the energy you come off with, the aura you come off with, are felt by people. And attraction research over the years, and especially, ones I've seen with Carl Jung and all the psychologists over the years and communication experts, they talk about the attraction, the energy attraction. That what we talk about when we talk about aura, that they're attracted to your aura, is really an energy pattern they see. This is when we talk about Kendler's Fountain of Youth, we talk about. If you don't call them chakras, energy forces, whatever you want to talk about, you can name them anything you want. But those are things that keep you strong, keep you young, and that's why we do these exercises. I've been doing those exercises since 1998 because I fully believe those things are accurate when it comes to your energy forces. And because your energy is something that is attractive, most people realize that attractiveness is something that comes from not necessarily your looks, your wealth, which could be part of it. It comes from your energy. It comes from how the person feels around you. Think about that. A lot of research has shown that women, especially, and since we're talking to a lot of males on this channel, women react to how they feel about a man when they're with that man. So what is that we're talking about? It's energy. Now, males will look at the female figure and say, okay, this is attractive. Females look at something totally different because they're more interested in survival, long-term mating, however you want to call it, to have children, families, things like that, continue the generations, continue the births, the children, things like that. So they're looking for something different in a male and what they find attractive. One of the things is the energy level that male has. And so if they run into a male, they're going to gauge them on their instincts, their biological instincts, about how that male has their energy. And what we talk about here, again, is your transfer energy. Women want your energy transferred to them. So this is why they want you to release with them, because they want to have children. And where does the baby form? The baby forms because of, and you can call it your semen, you call it energy. Your energy goes into the female. The female has a child, right? So the thing is that you are contributing that. And so you have to have a strong energy to be able to work with the egg of the woman to be able to have children. So again, think about this for a second. Think about the strength you have within that energy. Women want that energy. And you always know this because after intercourse with women, most of the guys will fall asleep because they're drained of their energy for that period of time. The females, on the other hand, are up and ready to go because they have the energy and you're moving your energy from you to them. Now, of course, if you're only looking at pictures and releasing, you're just throwing energy out the window in that sense. Obviously, we talk about the fact that you can control that energy and transmute it, keep it in your system, and make yourself look younger, keep your strength, no matter how old you are, and able to continue to focus on achieving the goals and becoming a stronger, higher value males every year you have, no matter if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, like I am turning 64 this month. So the thing is, you can continue to be a high value male. And we don't know how long we're going to live. God has that set up. He knows the final date. All you can do is become the best male that you can become, or the best female, depending on, and like I said, most people who are watching the show are males, so that's kind of why I focus on that. So when we go back to the energy again, why are women nervous in your presence when you have your energy? Well, that would make sense too if you think about it. Because as females, biologically, they can sense a high energy male. They sense it, they see it. They may not know, and they can call it what it is, where you can say you're a high value male. They may not be able to do that. They can say you have charisma, personality, those type of things. But from the biological standpoint, which is most with women and men are geared with, no matter what they try to do to stop it, biologically, they're reacting to a male because of the energy they can gain with children or whatever it might be from you. And so they see this and they're highly attracted. They'll lean in, they'll look at you, and now you become the strong person. So if you hold your energy and you become that strong person, it's almost like overloading the circuit, because most women nowadays expect very minimum energy. Now, I'm just saying this in terms of their biological reaction. I mean, obviously, they're not going to be saying stuff on surveys saying, well, I expect less energy and less energy, or a minimum energy. But with the men we have nowadays out there, the young males, And the men who are becoming more female-like, more feminine, and they're blowing their energy all over the place, they become less and less of a male. Because of that, they now have less and less energy. So women expect very little. They expect very little on that. And so they get very little. And so they try to look for as much as they can get, find the best male they can find, and hopefully they'll get some energy. But it's almost the same thing. Like, they talk about money, of course, as you know, you want to be with somebody that has money, of course. This is what some of the people would say. But the thing is that it's the same thing with energy. You don't want to be hanging around somebody who has no energy. But a lot of males are walking around with no energy because they release and they've been told this is the best thing in the world to do. And it's been that fallacy, that blue matrix we talk about all the time. So the woman, when they see someone who's a real man, we call it, this is why women struggle with finding real men, it's got nothing to do with anything except the energy level. They cannot sense a real man because there's very few out there anymore. This is why we talk about the 1% club. If you're a person who has that energy, it will be like overloading their system. They might even be able to look at you, which happens to me all the time. They cannot look at you even because you have that look, especially if you have confidence with retention. You can look them straight in the eye. Your confidence grows immensely. Your power grows immensely. Now you don't have the fear of anything. You don't have the fear of things. You have confidence. That energy overflows a female's biological nature. Their computer in their brain just flies off and goes short circuits it. And now instead of acting normal, they'll act kind of crazy. So they may be very jittery, nervous, play with their hair, they lick their lips. All these things are nonverbal behaviors they'll do because they become feminine, because they have a male masculine presence that you are present at that moment. And because you're present, those females will be submissive in the sense we talk about it. They're submissive because they see a male presence and they want to be around that male presence. That makes them feel whole. Again, they want that energy. They love the energy. Whether they admit that or not, they love the energy. That's what they need. So, if you're a man who is practicing semen retention, all of a sudden, you change the game. Women don't know how to deal with you. So you're going to get stares because they're looking at something they cannot understand. How is this guy having this level of energy? Right? It used to be, back when I was growing up, we used to have tons of men like this. I mean, I think there certainly was a lot of energy releasing, of course, but not to the extent we have now. I think now it's been normalized in society. Doctors, everybody says, go ahead and release 4 or 5 times a week, things like that. Just imagine that. 5 times a week, you're doing 350, in 52 weeks of the year. I mean, you're talking about, hundreds of sperm that you're losing that you probably will never make up. This is why you have a lot of people who are becoming dysfunctional at 20 years old, because they just continue doing it, thinking this is going to make them healthy or stronger. It becomes an addictive thing like any other addiction does. So if you can stop, you can control yourself. Women become highly attracted to a person to control themselves because you're not revolving your life around her. You're making yourself known as a high-value male that walks their own way. And a lot of this is self-control, starting with retention. This is the hardest thing to control. If you can control this, you control other things. And now you become a person who is a high value and your energy level soars off the charts. And because of it, women will react. I've seen women in their 30s or 40s giggling because they can't deal with this type of energy. They don't see it very often. And when they see it, they don't understand it. They just know that they want to be around it. And so you'll see them approaching you. You'll see them being in your life. They're not going to get away from you because you are one of those 1% people. And I know a lot of people who listen to this, some of these people may not, and one person said, I'm not impressed with this. There's nothing to this. Well, that's fine if you want to believe in that. But again, what you got to really do is experience it. I encourage those people who have doubts, keep trying, because you're going to see that if you keep it within yourself, the energy level, your energy is going to go crazy. And people will react to you in a different way. We've had lots of people who send notes in, and I always do shout outs to people who always just say the same thing, you know. I can't believe the benefits we're seeing here. As time goes on, if you're able to transmute it and you're able to grow and stronger, your power becomes immense. And you can feel like you can do anything. I don't care. And I'm 64, right? I'm basically 64 years old. So if I can say this 64, I wish I had this knowledge back when I was in 24. I mean, I fortunately blew a lot of energy out of the park when I was in my 20s. And I know a lot of you guys are doing the same thing. But if you can stop it, it's hard when you're younger, because it's hard to understand the bigger concept when you're younger. And we are taught none of this. We're not taught how to deal with me females. We're not taught any of this stuff as young males. It is a shame. This is why we do a lot of these type of shows, because young males, they don't have that knowledge. We don't have classes on how to deal with females, and females looking at energy, emotional stability, and that you have to keep calm with your energy, that you have to keep that presence to attract those females. This is another thing that's attractive, why they get nervous. If they can have drama and intensity, and they can complain and they can criticize and test you all the time, and you're keeping calm, still, you have all this energy, but you're not getting upset. It's one thing if I joke around and start, call them, Warriors Unite and that kind of stuff. But if you actually get upset, you're out of your frame. And we talk about this in another video. Stay in your frame. And your frame then makes you even more powerful. And women will be highly nervous. Now, you have to, again, take that ball with it. Try to make them feel comfortable. Again, try to provide that emotional security that they're looking for. How can a man who has this much power still be calm, relaxed? That even attracts them even more. Question again, bud, is with like Stan Lee with Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. What are you going to do with all this knowledge? Again, what you should be doing, in my opinion, and I'm an old guy, so you guys are a lot younger than I am, what you should be doing is making yourself the best male possible. Under God's purposes, fall into his purpose, try to follow what he wants you to do, become stronger and stronger as you go along. Women will be there, but you don't need thousands of women, right? What you need to find is someone who's going to help you achieve your goals, right? And so those are the things that are important. If you find that, right, then you don't need it. Remember, releasing is only something that's going to, unless you have children, unless you're procreating, releasing has no benefit. Though I know people say it's great for a prostate, it's great for all this kind of stuff. I'm seeing evidence otherwise out there more and more now. That, and years ago, people didn't think this way, that you should be releasing all the time. I think it's one of those things that, and it's calling me a conspiracy guy, but one of those things out there that have been trying to dumb down this society. Whether it's overeating, whether it's pornography, whatever it might be, trying to make men weaker. And men need to understand this and stay stronger. Again, not a class on this stuff, but it's been sitting there, advertised, pushed, that this is the thing you should be doing. And this is not the thing you should be doing. You should not be releasing. You should be spending your time constructively, using that energy for other things, right? And it's important. I try to keep myself as busy as possible. I know we have a couple topics talking about how to transmute, and we'll talk about that maybe separately. But, I got a week off or so now, so I'm doing grades. I'm doing things, for summertime classes, consulting things I'm doing, building a pool in the backyard, doing all kinds of stuff around the house, nonstop action. Part of the reason is because I have that I've been blessed with a high nature, sexual nature, and I have to keep busy. I cannot be thinking about this and going off of monk mode and thinking about this stuff. So this is why it's not easy for me even at my age, because that energy is in you. And obviously, as you do it more, and you're more retaining, it becomes stronger. So it becomes powerful, and you have to learn how to control that. Again, like Spider-Man, you got great responsibility controlling it. It's almost like a nuclear force you have there, and it's important to go ahead and control that. All right, my friends. Well, hey, Slippery, thank you, my friend, for the comment. Once again, I always enjoy coming in, and I have some time to relax a little bit here for the next week or so, and it's great to be able to do one, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. I feel a little bit better. I kept this hour, but the hair still is a lot shorter, so I feel good in the summertime here too, my friends. All right, so anyway, we'll do another one maybe in a couple days. We'll see if I got tons of topics here. We'll look at self-control, withdrawal from, during SR, things like that, protection from harm, shyness. We have a lot of different things we can kind of talk about. So we have lots of topics. Once again, please send yours in. Hopefully we got more that you guys questions with, and if I do get enough, maybe we'll do a live stream this summer if we get a chance to as well. And again, I'm gonna try to continue pushing on with this a little bit, kind of improving I know I always say that, but eventually I'll put this on the list. We'll get computers, we'll do a little better, but my main thing now is just to get you guys information. I hope you enjoyed this one. So God bless you guys, and remember two things always. One, every day is a great day to a great warrior, and you guys are always great warriors. I know I always keep messing this up, but you know what I'm talking about. Every day is a great day to each one of you guys, great warriors. Number two, guys, this is a battle, and in all seriousness, we need to continue fighting, because every day temptation's around the corner, and you may feel you're stronger, but when you feel like you're just strongest, that may be the time that Satan attacks, because you're overconfident. So continue to pray, continue to work with your retention, continue to have self-control, monitor all these addictions you have, try to get rid of all these addictions you have, and continue to have a balance and moderation in life. So, but in a sense, with the evil one, you have to always make sure you got the shield on, because you're always ready to battle on! God bless you guys. Have a great day.